Hello, good morning mga katribu. It's Wednesday once more and welcome to another enlightening episode of Straight Talk where we delve to the pressing issues that shape our times. I'm Chito Lozada.
And I'm Terry Montelibano. We're live on Daily Tribune's Facebook page and Tribune now on YouTube. Today we're honored to have with us the President and CEO of the Philippine Guarantee Corporation, Mr. Alberto Pascual, and Senior Vice President of the Priority Sector Guarantee Group of PhilGuarantee, Mr. Celso Gutierrez.
Hello, good morning
Hello,
guys.
good morning,
Morning.
gentlemen.
Morning.
And thank you for being in the
Placing
show.
our show,
For
yeah.
being us. Okay, so, well, maybe we'll start with the
Let's
basic
start
ones.
with the basic ones.
What is PhilGuarantee?
PhilGuarantee.
Not, as I said, seems like bankers only know about
Yeah.
about PhilGuarantee, but what to the people listening to us who are, multi-sectoral, what is PhilGuarantee?
PhilGuarantee is the full name is Philippine Guarantee Corporation. It's a government-owned and controlled corporation. We operate uh, under the Department of Finance. We were an attached agency of the Department of Finance. In 2018, the government, through the Secretary of Finance, consolidated all the five Philippine programs, guarantee programs and agencies. If you remember, the Philippine Import-Export Credit Agency, PhilExim,
Yes.
or TIDCorp, it's also called the TIDCorp, and the Home Guarantee Corporation, another government corporation. We were merged into one corporation. We retained the charter of the PhilExim, but we were renamed as Philippine Guarantee Corporation, or PhilGuarantee for short. As a merged institutions, technically we can all guarantee almost everything. But we don't guarantee direct loans. We only provide guarantee to lenders, banks, financial institutions, finance companies. For agri, we can guarantee loans of cooperatives, farmers associations, even corporations engaged in lending to agriculture. For MSME, we guarantee banks, finance companies, leasing companies. Uh, our charter, we are supposed to mobilize private funds to lend to the priority
What do you
sectors.
say
And
mobilize? What exactly do you mean?
mobilize meaning to encourage banks and
To encourage
finance
banks,
institutions
okay.
to lend to these high-risk sectors and priority sectors of the government. Like in agriculture, not all banks are active in lending to agriculture. So to mitigate the risk in lending
Yes.
to agriculture, we can guarantee their loans to rice and corn production up to 85% of the principal. In case of any natural disasters, typhoons, diseases, pests, and if the farmer cannot pay, we will pay mostly rural banks, we will pay the rural banks 85% of their credit exposure.
85%.
Has that always been your mandate from the start? And you started in 2000
PhilExim and Home Guarantee are old
Existing,
government
existing.
corporations, more than 40, 50 years old. But the Phil Guarantee was revitalized, according to some people, started only in 2018.
2018.
When the executive order number 58 was issued by the Philippine president. So we acquired the guarantee function of the Small Business Corporation. We merged and also acquired the Industrial Guarantee Loan Fund, which used to be managed by DBP. Then we also are the administrator of the Agricultural Guarantee Fund Pool of the Department of Agriculture. And of course, the Housing Guarantee portfolio and of PhilExim, of Home Guarantee and PhilExim were merged. So right now we have our outstanding guarantees about 250 billion pesos.
250 million.
So we have about 152 partner
That's your
lenders.
exposure.
Yeah,
so to
that's
speak,
our
no?
credit exposure. Yes, as I've said, we don't grant direct loans. We only guarantee. So our exposure is contingent in nature.
But I think that's very important to emphasize the distinction, because you don't lend.
Yes.
You guarantee
You guarantee.
credit.
Yeah,
Credit.
our capital is intact. We have investment income, but we also have a guarantee reserve fund in case there will be calls on our guarantee. So
Where does your income come from? Budget from the government?
we charge
You budgeted?
guarantee fees or guarantee premiums, average of 1%. For MSME guarantees, we charge a flat rate of 1.35%. For housing, it's about averaging 1%. For agri, it's about 1%. That's where we get our income, plus our investment income on our cash. So that's where we get our
How about
income.
trading operations? Do you also guarantee?
If you're an MSME, we can guarantee wholesale and trading operations. Yeah.
But that's good news for the basically unbanked sectors,
Yes,
no? Like farmers and MSMEs.
Yes. Yeah.
Because because like I'm an entrepreneur in that category, medium, small scale, micro. Is it
Micro.
Yeah.
micro, MS,
That's
micro, small, medium.
Yeah.
medium, and small.
So what do I do? Do I approach?
Celso is
So do you
the head
have-
of our MSME guarantee facility. Maybe he
Celso,
can
yes, could you
expound on
explain?
that.
Yeah,
Please.
thank
Yeah,
you.
Mr. Gutierrez,
We actually, sir, work with banks. So
you work with banks.
yeah, we accredited banks, rural banks, thrift banks, cooperative banks, even commercial banks.
Okay.
So
second
their
tier.
clients, they approach us to enroll whether this is worth guaranteeing. So we guarantee them. Of course, we work with them. They subject to qualifying criteria, which is one of the first and foremost is it must be a registered business. Whether
If you're a farmer and you're just out there in
well, the
field,
farmers, yes, as long as they're identified as farmers.
you don't.
But
Sorry.
Yeah.
You don't, for example, require farmers to approach a bank for loans if they're a cooperative or
Yes,
something.
we do.
Single farmers,
Yes,
lone
sir.
farmers can
Yes,
Yes.
sir.
Really,
Even
yeah.
cooperatives, yeah.
Even over.
Even
Maybe
members of
corporate is more
cooperatives,
understandable,
yeah. Yeah. Even with members of cooperatives.
But what if you're just a single farmer out there in the field? No.
You can approach the partner banks we have. We call
Mostly,
them partner lending.
rural banks, they go to rural
Rural
banks.
banks, yeah.
Yeah, they can
Our
apply.
partner lending institutions.
And
And once they approve a credit for you, they turn around, approach us, and have this guaranteed.
So kung ako magsasaka, what do I tell the accredited bank? I mean, so that I could secure a loan. I mean,
Yeah.
what's the criteria?
We have advanced rate per type of crop, like for rice, for the hybrid type, it's 85,000 per hectare. So if the rural bank will grant that, we can immediately provide the guarantee. That's the only requirement, I think, that because it's a social
Also,
guarantee.
what size of land
social
must I have?
guarantee.
You must be within the
Less than 5.
land reform maximum number of
5 hectares.
5 hectares. So
Minimum or maximum?
maximum.
Maximum
Five
for,
hectares.
Yeah,
for the small farmers.
The target are agrarian reform beneficiaries,
Agrarian reform beneficiaries.
which are those who receive 5 hectares of land.
How many are they?
ARBs?
Like,
We have about 4 to 5 billion of guarantees for agriculture. 70% is for rice and corn production. So we also guarantee backyard poultry, piggery, yung mga 5,000 birds, and then sa piggery, mga 10,000.
Good to know. Good
And
to
then
know.
other crops also, like mango and then long-term high
Orchards.
value. Yeah,
Orchards.
orchards, yeah.
Coconut plantations.
Coconut plantation.
Yes.
Yes.
through land bank siguro.
No, Land Bank is one of our lending partners. They grant the loans, we provide them guarantee for agricultural loans. Yeah.
But you know, but land bank, what kind of entity approaches land bank for loans? I mean, other than rural, I mean, should I approach rural bank or should I approach land
They
bank?
have a lot of branches and lending centers. They lend directly to the small farmers and fisher folk. And then they submit to us the portfolio, and then we provide the credit guarantee if the borrower cannot pay or the farmer cannot pay.
So that's rural banks and the land bank.
And land
uh,
bank.
Even the big banks
Even
like
thrift banks.
Thrift bank.
BPI Banco, one of the
Banco-
microfinance
Banco
arm of
family.
BPI,
yeah,
has
Also-
started lending to
CPI family
agriculture.
savings.
Yeah.
Yeah, formerly.
And then Card of Mr. Aris
Yes.
Alip is also one of our partners. So we need partners to interface with these small farmers.
Have you heard of ASA?
as
Foundation.
foundations. We have accredited some foundations. Tulay,
Tuloy sa pagunlad
they lend
to rice
loans to
farmers.
rice farmers. So cooperatives, associations, foundations can really be well. Even the corporations. Before there were corporations lending
That lend.
to farmers. We can provide.
So you
that.
can also do that.
Yes. Yeah.
So
There's always this complaint about lack of financing.
Financing is available, I think, except that some farmers, those who have not so good record, they just approach the informal lenders. It's easier. No?
in other words, you buy.
But our mandate is really to encourage rural
Loan
banks to
sharks
lend to
naman.
this because the savings will be significant because the interest rate will be lower. No? So their credit risk is reduced only to 15% because we will shoulder 85% of the loan in case the farmer cannot pay.
That's fantastic.
Yeah,
I mean, but what shields you from What shields you from going under?
We make money on our investments, so that mitigates.
Would you invest?
Mostly, it's
Government.
practically government securities to be
Securities.
sure that our money will be safe.
No risk.
Yeah, because we have a guarantee reserve fund that since I mentioned we have 250 billion guarantees. Based
250 billion worth of guarantee
Board of
funds.
guarantees.
That means that you have.
That's
what-
contingent exposure.
Okay.
So our non-performing loans ratio is below 1%. So just compute 1% of 250 billion. That's only 250 million.
25
million.
25.
Yeah.
So you don't get any.
We still exercise some credit judgment, so so that our portfolio will be manageable. Yeah.
Mr. Pascual, could you give us an explanation? How do you distinguish PhilGuarantee from, let's say, Bliss? Pag-ibig. Pag-ibig.
Pag-ibig.
Because you are.
we have-
Because one of your priorities actually is housing, right?
Yes.
So how is that? How
Pag-ibig
what
is a
the
lender.
Direct.
So
So you
effectively,
You guarantee.
we guarantee the loans of Pag-ibig to socialize yung up to 1.8 million.
Ang dami nilang pera niya, pag-ibig.
But there's a program that addresses that. We have the Abot Kaya Pabahay Fund.
Abot kaya pa ba?
The
That's a
fund that's
pag-ibig
supposed to
program.
guarantee the poorest of the poor. So
Yes.
yeah.
Ay,
So for our regular
housing.
guarantee program for housing, we can guarantee yung low cost and medium
Medium
cost,
cost.
which already been increased no, sa low cost 4.9
Low
na.
cost is what? 1 million pesos?
4.9 na ngayon.
4.9.
Low
Kasi tumaas na yung
Materials.
materials.
labor.
And then sa medium cost about 6.6. But we're saying that since we provide incentives, tax incentives, and other benefits to the lender, that can be recovered through the multiplier effect. Like in housing, if you construct a house, you have to have a contractor, you have to have a designer, you have an architect, then you buy furniture, you need electricity. There's a multiplier effect. So the government recovers the incentives given to banks who lend to this low cost and socialized housing. Yeah.
How much? Maybe Jerry Acosar could answer this, but I'm just wondering. The president has made an announcement that he prioritizes, or he has made it known that he prioritizes low-cost housing.
Low cost.
What is the housing situation? I mean, how much do we need?
I think the record shows it's been in the papers that we have a backlog of about 1 million,
More than, sorry.
more than 1 million in housing. So to assist the 4PH program of DSUD, we have offered them our foreclosed properties.
Foreclosed properties.
Foreclosed.
So where they can build high-rise condominiums.
Tenement housing.
It's like something like
so
that.
that's
Lease.
Which can be offered to those who want to have and also to the legal shelters occupying these properties. So that will be our participation in the 4PH program. At the same time, if the borrowers will go to a bank, their loans will be automatically guaranteed by us because we're in the background. We have two types of guarantee schemes. Yung what we call the portfolio guarantee scheme Where the
Portfolio guarantee scheme.
Yeah, that's bilateral between the bank and PhilGuarantee. So the borrower
May not be aware.
it may not be aware that it's being guaranteed because it's the bank who pays the guarantee premium,
Yeah,
1%. Then we have the individual guarantee scheme, mostly for medium to large enterprises, where it's a tripartite guarantee arrangement. The borrower, the bank, and the PhilGuarantee signs are parties to the guarantee agreement. So we have interface with the borrower. So we can ask, we will evaluate the borrower at the same time the bank evaluates the borrower. So we know the borrower. But for the portfolio guarantee scheme, we just have a list as long as it complies with the requirements. Like for housing, the requirements that the monthly amortization must be not be more than 40% of the gross monthly income. And then, of course, the property should be appraised, and we can guarantee for socialized up to 100% of the value of the property, and then for locals 90%, and for medium about 70-80%. Yeah.
No, I wanted to also talk. You, Mr. Gutierrez, you came from the government. You came
Yeah,
from the
government back
sector,
financial
land
institutions.
bank. And now you're with the private sector.
It's
Does
government.
it
Still
manage-
government.
Still government.
you still
We're government.
We're still
We're wholly
government.
owned by the government.
Okay.
Under the Department of Finance.
Correct. No, I thought, okay. Yeah, I was gonna ask how would you interface with somebody from the private sector, like Mr.
Yeah, both sets I came from the government bank. Government bank, I'm a private bank. So our contacts are still, some of
Is
our
that a
contacts
good-
still there.
It's
Is
still
that good? You have good.
Yeah, we were
dynamics.
able, like, our biggest partner now is BPI, where I came from.
one of our biggest. One of
One of
our
our
biggest.
biggest, yeah.
Great.
Yeah, of course, the other big banks are also our partners.
But
yeah.
but sir, you have kept the losses, the
guarantee calls,
defaults
yeah, the default, yeah.
to a minimum.
Yeah,
I heard
because-
that the NPL is just about
Yes,
1%.
basically because in housing, the risk is not that much because you have the collateral, the house, and that. Yeah. For MSME, that's the high risk sector because 90% of our guarantees are unsecured loans.
Unsecured
Yeah,
loans.
so
Yes.
because that's really where we want to
90%.
support banks for them to be able to lend unsecured to small businesses. And but still manageable, our default rate or guarantee claims, the amount of guarantee claims that we paid. Because the portfolio, from when we acquired that portfolio from a small business corporation, it was only about 35-50 million. Now it's 7 billion, consisting of how many borrowers?
More than
40,000
43,000.
borrowers. Yeah.
40,000.
43.
It's a lot.
So, I was thinking of, well, what else this field guarantee in terms of the government's in terms of the government's mandate, no?
Mandate.
What else is there to understand about field guarantee? Are there other services that
Yeah,
you
we
offer?
can. We're now looking at guaranteeing LGU bonds. That's something that for housing
That's a new
or
one.
for local governments.
for local governments, and also
Development loans.
also guarantees for rental housing. So meaning, yeah, up to under our charter, up to 19 units, it's allowed to be guaranteed because. Like for local socialized, some borrowers cannot afford to pay the monthly amortization. If you like in Hong Kong and Singapore, they have no guarantee corporations. They don't guarantee housing because they provide tenement houses, and
I see.
the occupants just pay the rental.
Libre.
Hindi,
Rental?
may rental.
May rental.
So I think what we need here is yung rental properties so that the newly employed, the new couples can rent in the meantime. Dati, di ba, mga apartment.
Government
Tawag
loans.
natin dyan, apartment, di ba?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. There's a program that we will launch on rental housing.
When?
Actually, it's been done before. It's just reviving that product.
What exactly does that mean? I mean, I want to rent an apartment.
You build a 19-door apartment. You borrow from a bank. We will guarantee that.
I see.
So that bank has no exposure or partial exposure only.
So we continue our discussion when we come back. We're having a commercial break.
And this break is brought to you by Angkas, Beat the Traffic, Bayad Center. Hashtag bigger, better, younger bayad, and you can buy it all. Meralco, ang liwanag ng bukas. SM, we've got it all for you. Smart. Live more today. Union Bank. It starts with you. Tune in to Daily Tribune's show aimed at addressing the needs and problems of our OFWs from different corners of the globe. Hear about their plights and success stories every Tuesday and Thursday, 3 p.m. only on Daily Tribune's Facebook page and Tribune Now on YouTube. Straight Talk dives deep into pressing issues of leadership, politics, business, and more. Engage in insightful conversations with industry shakers, government leaders, and trailblazers every Wednesday at 10 a.m. only here on Daily Tribune's Facebook page and Tribune Now in YouTube.
So we're back, Ted, and we're still with the PhilGuarantee officials. So, Ted, do you have any?
No, I was interested in that rental in your rental
Yeah,
program.
right.
Or
We're discussing
you said you lend or you guarantee
You will
loans
guarantee.
by
Yeah.
developers that go into rental.
Yeah. It can be part of, we already guarantee the housing unit if a borrower applies and then they builds it.
Is it condominium? Condominium.
No, it's just what we call apartment before, di ba?
Apartments.
With
several
up
doors.
to 19 doors. No?
Okay, up to 19 doors.
I think that's the limit required by law. So we can provide guarantee. So if a bank submits to us an application for a project for 19 doors, so we can provide them the guarantee. Similar to the guarantee we provide to individual housing buyers. You know. Yeah, so that will help at least provide rental properties to those who need it.
Who need it.
Because some people they can afford to buy.
But these are in the urban areas? Are they,
It can be anywhere in the
Anywhere in
Philippines. There's just a limit on the price, no? Based on the revised or upgraded prices. Yung low cost will be for housing is 1.8 million. For socialized, for low cost it's 4.9.
Earlier you mentioned priority areas. That one of the sectors that you that you guarantee. Is
Yeah.
it- what are the priority areas?
I was in charge of our priority sector guarantee. So can expand
Priority
on that.
sectors.
Well, priorities are industries in the list of the Board of Investments. So it could be healthcare.
Board of Investments.
Yeah, Board of Investments. But then it's a priority of government, whatever government advocates. So it could be healthcare, so hospitals.
Healthcare hospitals.
Education, because that's human capital. We're improving our human capital.
Energy.
Of course, energy, renewable energy, that is to reduce emissions.
Emissions.
Yeah, well, we'd like
Carbon
to reduce
emissions.
carbon
Yeah.
Carbon
emissions.
emissions, yeah.
Carbon emissions. So it could also be in transport. Di ba?
Public transportation.
Yeah, we've looked at, there are some cities that wanted to convert their public
that's true,
utilities to electric tricycles or vehicles for mass transport. So we're supporting all of those.
So non-polluting.
Yeah, it could be also in tourism because it generates foreign exchange. For us, foreign exchange.
For tourism, you mean what? Resorts?
Hotels,
Hotels, yeah.
resorts,
Restaurants?
restaurants. Yeah, we encourage. Our
Hostels.
counterparts sometimes overseas, yung ibang credit agencies, they encourage their restaurants to have branches overseas. I think yung brand of their cooking or culinary art is also being exported. We'd also like to work on that one.
So you guarantee that also?
Yeah,
Yeah.
we can.
We recently approved a guarantee for a hotel project in Cebu. In the morning, they'll use solar power for their hotel operations. So, since it's prioritized tourism, at the same time, it's renewable energy. So we provided guarantee to a bank for that. That's a big amount, yeah.
Yeah. So for, let's say, solar farms, would you?
Yes.
Yes,
you
yes,
encourage-
we encourage them. The first wind farm in the Southeast Asia, in Ilocos,
Pangil.
Bangi
Bangi.
is
Bangi.
were
When
instrumental
when
in
the
having
president
that
was
as
still
the
governor.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
So matagal.
were instrumental in doing that. But that provides about 60% of
Yeah.
the province's electricity.
Wow.
So it's a big help
Yeah.
actually to
But
reduce
but
costs.
yeah, lenders now or banks now are very comfortable with
Yeah.
energy projects.
Oh,
I think
really?
the default percentage is almost zero.
The what?
There's no default?
There's no,
No one
default on
defaults.
There's no
projects
default.
or almost zero
Yeah.
default. So
That's
that's
renewable
our
energy.
challenge now. They don't need our guarantee anymore because they're comfortable lending to a solar power project, wind farm project.
You don't
They
income
don't,
guaranteeing
Yeah.
the bank.
But we
They
still
don't
have
see the
we're still
guarantee.
receiving applications from some maybe some banks that are not
Yeah.
yet familiar with that kind of business, so they still need our guarantee.
There's some niches available actually. Not some
Niches.
niches.
Okay.
Yung mga island provinces, those
Yeah.
that cannot connect to
Yes.
the grid,
Yung mga
they'll
island.
need renewable. So we're looking also at
Yung
them.
mga higher risk
Higher
projects. Yeah.
Mga areas
Yeah,
ni
that's our
Bernardones,
mandate, yeah, to-
Eastern Samar,
Yung mga ganyan.
Yung
No?
mga,
Siargao.
yeah.
Oh, there's a
Yeah,
lot of,
we'll
ano,
support that.
RE
We
projects
support
in,
all of
Visayas.
those. Even actually bulk water supply, super
Water
agent bulk
system.
water.
So small community water supply.
yes.
Rural
Yeah.
infrastructure.
Rural
yeah.
infrastructure yan.
Or
Ganyan.
LGU tie up with the
Ang
private.
lawak ng ano nyo, ha? Ng,
So
Yeah,
wide.
because of the merger of all the guarantee programs of the government.
It's so wide.
And we're the only guarantee corporation
In the country.
in the country, although two other agencies are allowed to issue guarantees, but they're not using it. So we're saying that we're the principal state guarantee
so
institution.
there's none. Is this like sovereign funds?
Yeah, our guarantee is sovereign. It has the full faith and credit of the Republic of the Philippines.
Okay.
We just came from a conference with Asian Guarantee Corporation. It's the same setup.
Asian Guarantee Corporation. What is it?
Other
Is that-
other
Counterparts in
counterparts
other
in
Asian
Cambodia,
country.
Nepal, Mongolia, Indonesia, Malaysia. We're doing the same thing in a according to the World Bank. Yeah, that we really need a guarantee corporation for of course developmental.
So you've been cited by the World Bank?
Yeah, we've been talking to them and ADB for the interview as for
Technical
our guarantee programs because it's prevalent in emerging markets. Yeah, to support high risk sectors and those sectors that banks or lenders do not want to touch. With our guarantee, they're encouraged and because the risk is mitigated. Yeah.
There's,
And-
this,
is shared.
there's this plan to revise your charter, sir. And how would it improve the...
Why would they revise the charter? I mean, for what reason?
Yeah.
Yes, because we're using a 1977 charter.
Is there anything wrong with that?
The original mandate of the PhilExim was really to support contractors, construction, construction
Because
export.
of the boom in
the boom in
At
the
that
Middle
time.
East, yeah.
Construction export.
Right, I
Cons-
remember.
yeah, contractors or
Contractors.
Who have contracts
with
abroad.
contracts in, if you remember, Iraq, we were Philippines.
Maybe
were-
Mr.
Saudi.
Maybe
Yeah.
Fernandez is,
Yeah. So, and the inconsistencies in some of our programs because we're using an old charter and even our directors, we're supervised by the BSP, but we have a director who's from BSP.
Conflict.
So, those things, and would like to also put in our board the Secretary of DSUD, Secretary of
They're not.
Culture.
Agriculture.
They're not. They're not.
Only the Secretary of DTI, the NEDA Secretary, the BSP Governor are our ex-officio directors. Because the charter is very old. Maybe at that time, wala pang conflict of interest. So
Oo.
we are BSP supervised and then BSP sits in our board. So that will be part of the charter change. And also to expand our mandate.
Is it moving in the Congress?
We'll have to present it to the DOF Secretary.
So the
Recto.
DOF will have
Then
to-
we'll find a sponsor. I think our lawyers are already doing that.
So it would be, so you're going
Because we were created by an executive order, it's better also to have a law that
Yes.
will
To
support us.
harmonize.
What's the difference between executive order and legislation?
There's very limited. The
Mabilis.
executive order cannot change the directors. You need
In
a law.
that sense.
Because the law prescribes the ex officio directors. So the revision of the law will allow us to have as directors, the Secretary of Agriculture, the Secretary of Housing, or the SUD. No?
Environment. No,
Yeah.
environment ba?
Not.
DTI is in our
DTI,
board,
yeah.
and NEDA. NEDA, yeah.
So what was the status of the efforts to, the
We
move
also,
to change it?
World Bank's also helping us on that, no? To support us on this charter change. Yeah, hopefully we're targeting early next year. Maybe we can
Early
find
next
pero election na baka.
Yeah.
Hopefully we'll, but we can at the present we're operating still able to
Yeah, well,
operate
yeah.
based on the existing mandates. But it's
So-
better to have that charter change.
Who would be a possible sponsor in
Usually the
Congress.
one in charge of GOCCs
yeah.
or housing or MSME.
Are the banks encouraged? Is your existence and your your function or your presence in
Yeah.
in the industry, is it encouraging to the banks? Are more
We're,
banks
we're like
encouraged?
insurance underwriters. We have to sell the product, insurance. We're credit insurance. Based on our experience, banks create or they develop
product.
products only for to be submitted to us for guarantee. So special products for MSME, special products for farmers. So they're encouraged because of the guarantee. They become more aggressive, no? And those sectors that they don't touch before, agri or microfinance, they're able to do it because of our partial guarantees. Yeah. So we share in the risk, their exposure that minimizes their losses in case of default. Yeah.
Are hospitals, small hospitals, also part of that? No?
Yeah,
Part of the
we do
priority,
encourage yung
There's a lot
those
of- there's a lot of
healthcare
need
is
out there.
a priority, especially during the pandemic. Yeah,
Especially during the
healthcare.
pandemic,
Yeah.
Started that.
We launched our MSME program during the pandemic. So those were and I think it may not look related, but tourism is related to healthcare. You have good healthcare, tourists will come in. I remember there was one that approached us. They wanted to do a diving site. Pero yung hospital nila walang hypobaric chamber. So it's going to be in Cebu, 4 hours away.
I lived in Boracay for the pandemic. Virtually the whole pandemic, 1 year and a half. And I tell you, Boracay, for all the importance that for all the it gets from tourism all over the world, ang healthcare nila leaves so
Yeah.
much to be desired.
Yeah.
People, I don't want to say naman people there kasi baka people from Boracay. But I was no. I had a health scare, from out of carelessness also. But I had to be. The doctors there said we have nothing to give you. You have to either
Outright,
go
Fly
to
out.
Calibo or go to Bacolod or fly to Manila. But I couldn't because I was like I had a wound there.
Yeah.
Can you imagine that?
Siargao, the son
People,
of TB
people
host,
with asthma are dying
yeah.
there because they cannot get immediate
Maybe that's
Siargao
where we can
also.
support
Yeah,
the
those
establishment
are-
hospitals.
Siargao is a growing, I mean, and a lot of rich people, even just now the children of the Ayalas are building resorts there. But I haven't heard of any
Yeah, the
hospital.
healthcare. Celso is right. Yeah, you need to have a good hospital for
You
this
need
time.
to contagions.
What does it do? Do you talk to hospital? Do you talk to people who are or doctors running hospitals to ask them to build out there, or what? How does it?
Well,
How does
we
it work ba?
practically approach everyone who is interested to invest in the economy. But basically, it's the banks that we have to convince, actually. Without the banks, kasi no one will, the guarantee won't move without the banks.
Correct.
Someone must fund the project, which we can guarantee. So it's basically trying to tell everyone, inform everyone, there could be support, but we'll have to work together. The banks, the investors, and us.
Yeah, we hold business forums in certain areas. Business forums. So we invite banks, we
Okay.
invite borrowers.
So you do
we make them
you do have that kind of
yeah,
activity.
yeah, to encourage. So we will know direct from them what do they need and what sectors they want to develop, so we can support and guarantee any loans that they will give to the sectors. Like maybe I don't know which is the nearest city in Siargao, Cagayan. Yeah, we have to.
Surigao,
We have to,
something.
Surigao del
yeah.
Sur
We have to
or-
encourage investors
even
to
Eastern
build.
Samar.
Not
Yeah.
even need.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Eastern Samar is a beautiful place
Yes.
for tourism.
Yeah.
For well, Benedict
Yeah,
Donis
at
should
least
know
the
that.
basics.
Yeah,
At least the
yeah,
basics,
yeah.
di ba?
Oh,
The
yeah.
basic healthcare, then it goes to the more.
Do you
Yeah,
have roads?
during the pandemic, we supported a lot of dealers of face masks and alcohol. Yeah, so we guarantee their loans. Yeah.
Formally.
Didn't you get
No,
it?
no,
No, not
that's
that.
big time. We're only a
That's
small time.
government. Only the small suppliers.
In relation to that, should there be a worry about PhilGuarantee being too aggressive again to, you know, like what happened in the past?
Are you aggressive?
We tried to avoid during our initial years. We focus only on the small ones, small businesses, small farmers, microfinance, small
Small
businesses,
businesses.
local socialized housing, which is fully secured. No? So based on our experience in the last 3 or 4 years, our non-performing loans very low, below 1%. So maybe it's time for us to go higher. So
Which mean-
we can now guarantee. The latest one we did was 1 billion.
What is this?
The
The
resort
hotel.
hotel in Cebu.
A resort
Resort.
hotel.
David
hotel.
Solar, but before I joined PhilGuarantee, they were guaranteeing up to what 3-4
6
billion, 6 billion,
6
which is
billion.
our single guarantee limit. We
There's a
don't do
limit.
that yet because we have to develop our people
people
in
base.
evaluating this type of credits. Because we're used to the small ones, you need the experts, ex-bankers to do the bigger ones. Celso and I are good in it because we were bankers before, but our people has to be trained.
Being
Yes,
matoto.
we transferred.
Bing Matoto is a
Yes.
banker, yeah. Yes,
So if it exceeds the limit is
single
6
guarantee in
billion.
civilian, yeah.
So what do you do
For
with
one
it?
project.
You
Actually,
pass
our
it on?
charter allows us to exceed 6 billion, but our prudential limit is based on the BSP computation of single borrower's limit, and we call it single guarantee limit. So we don't want to breach that. We're looking at the steel project. Sorry, about 3 billion.
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
And
so hopefully
to
we
develop the
the steel,
steel
industry. So yeah, we're now looking for those kind of projects to also
So
improve our revenues. Because yung mga micro, tingi-tingi yun eh.
Tingi.
50,000, 100,000. So you need 1,000 borrowers to generate billions or millions.
not unlike
So, but
the
if you have a big
ones.
ones, you charge one, as a risk-based pricing, you charge 1.5%, 2%. That will generate us income. But we have to manage it very well because of the experience in the past.
Like the flagship projects, you can't get into it.
Yeah.
The flagship projects are not your, you're not involved in that?
That's priority sector.
priority sector. It's
Yeah.
we're
But
involved.
but if the proponent's already a listed company, a big conglomerate, they have access to credit, so we
Yeah.
don't support them anymore.
What we
You don't-
support
you don't
will be the
support
supply
Gokong
chain.
Ways and the,
We can do the ecosystem,
The supply chain
the subcontractors, the
ecosystem.
suppliers,
Correct.
which are
Correct.
SMEs. Yeah. Yeah, we
So
talk to energy companies. We said that your
that's how you
contractors,
participate in
your
the
suppliers,
development.
we can support them. Yeah.
which areas in the Philippines are you, would you want to, would you want
All
to
over.
see? All over.
We're spread out.
Mindanao. What's happening to Mindanao? Are there?
We're present there. MSME, housing.
For MSMEs, we have about 7 or 8 billion there.
8
But
billion
then,
pesos?
guarantees, yeah, the
Guarantees.
flows. It's
In
there.
which parts of Mindanao are these?
Oh, we even reach BARM.
Oh, yeah?
Even Bar.
Yeah, we even reach
Are
BARM.
they good payers?
Well, we have very good record.
I mean,
Now, without anyone, but
somebody
we're not experienced, as our president has said, we're not experienced massive defaults.
Yeah.
I mean, even the banks are also careful about their processes.
it's the banks.
Because they
It's the banks that
represent,
kind of
yeah.
in the forefront.
Yeah.
they represent that it went through their normal process. Because you must treat it as if it were not guaranteed. The guarantee is just a sharing in the risk of support. But end of the day, it's still you still have a share of the losses, di ba?
Yeah, but our guarantee product is demand driven. So if the lender wants to lend to this area, to the sector, and they approach us, we will provide them the guarantee. But if we tell them you lend to renewable energy, they're comfortable. They don't need our guarantee anymore. But
It's a no-brainer.
microfinance, they go to Mindanao, small sari-sari stores, traders, high risk.
risky,
They go to
high
us.
risk.
They come to us for guarantee.
Even electric co-ops
Electric
to,
co-ops, we also
to support their distribution and small generating plants embedded. We can support that.
Yeah, in fact, somebody approached us for an electric cooperative in Tawi-Tawi. So,
The people. Well, I guess the banks. The banks. No.
it has to go through. Yeah, we need our bank partners to have the same target
Mindset.
sectors, so that. But the same with banks. Whoever comes to apply for a loan,
They'll choose.
they'll choose. And same with us. Whatever the bank submit to us, that's the only
We'll double check.
borrowers we can guarantee. But because if you go to a borrower, said, okay ka for guarantee, then the bank, ayaw naman ng banko. Hindi rin pwede, di ba? So, with the bank and the PhilGuarantee has to agree that we will support this project.
The pool that you have, the money pool, is it enough for to guarantee all the projects that comes to you?
Our charter allows us to leverage 20 times.
20
So,
times.
right now, our unimpaired capital is about 20 billion.
20
times
billion.
20, that's about 400 billion.
Yes.
But the risk weight of MSME is only 75%. For housing, it's only 50%. So that allows us to really guarantee more because the capital adequacy ratio of the bank, they require us only 7% because we don't accept deposits, we don't give out direct loans, only guarantees. And the risk weight of our target market, MSME and housing, are very low.
Very low.
Well below 100%.
That's
Yung pero yung mga corporate, 100%. Ano yan, risk weight.
So you said, well, you have involvement. I mean, you are involved in the renewable, in the energy distribution or energy generation. So you wouldn't want to, you wouldn't encourage. What about for coal plants?
There's still proponents for coal plants.
Yeah, because
yeah,
England ended already. Di ba?
We're
England
not-
ended, but
but
the
our
Philippines,
carbon
Philippines
emission
is
is
still a
not
lot-
as
lot
large
of
as the big countries, the developed countries. So I think what's important
It's a
for us is
tricky
to
and,
generate electricity regardless of where it comes from, whether
Tricky
it's coal or
situation.
fossil fuel or renewable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're familiar that you're aware that England, which is the first to put
Yes.
up on coal
Zero,
plant,
zero,
ended it
zero coal.
after 140
But
years.
they're an advanced
But my
economy.
goodness, grabe. The renewables are
But tayo,
fantastic.
problema natin is cheap power.
Yeah, that's
and-
fine. That's what the thing
even
was.
if
So-
you're a
was-
developing
in fact,
country.
he was charged. He was he was a subject. He was a respondent to a case, accusing him. I thought, why are you still allowing coal plants? But he said we cannot. Our needs are.
Yeah,
Our
but
needs.
we have a different
Different.
needs. Yeah.
Our needs for energy. It
Very
has to be met. Because
developing
renewables.
country.
That's what-
I think the
that's
coal
what I
plants
think
will
about
stay for
renewables.
in the meanwhile.
Yeah, for the renewables, matagal ang matagal until it's developed. So
Yeah.
why would the banks like to encourage small companies that put up renewables?
But before we get an answer on your question, we're going on a commercial break.
And this break is brought to you by Angkas, Beat the Traffic, Bayad Center, hashtag Bigger Better Younger Bayad, and you can buy it all. Meralco, ang liwanag ng bukas. SM, we've got it all for you. Smart, live more today. Union Bank, it starts with you.
Tune in to Daily Tribune's show aimed at addressing the needs and problems of our OFWs from different corners of the globe. Hear about their plights and success stories every Tuesday and Thursday, 3 p.m. only on Daily Tribune's Facebook page and Tribune Now on YouTube.
Straight Talk,
dives deep into pressing issues of leadership, politics, business, and more. Engage in insightful conversations with industry shakers, government leaders, and trailblazers every Wednesday at 10 a.m. only here on Daily Tribune's Facebook page and Tribune Now in YouTube.
So we're back here in our program Straight Talk. So, Ted, you can ask the last question. Then we
Yeah, what
end
are
the
the
program.
what's the how do you see the Philippines? I mean, in terms of in terms of progress, where are we? And what how would you be able to contribute? How would PhilGuarantee contribute to to advance to push progress in the country?
Yeah, in a small way, since we're in the background, we provide guarantees to lenders. We, of course, provide housing to the Filipinos. We support small businesses, which comprise 90% of the registered enterprises in the
That's
country.
true, yeah.
And then we support priority sectors of the government and agriculture, which is food security, food production. So we haven't quantified how much is our contribution, but we are providing 250 billion in guarantees. So in terms of how much output it contributes, that will contribute to the GDP. We haven't really computed, but we think we're supporting the Philippine economic development because that's our mandate. Any project that will support economic development and employment, we can provide guarantee.
Because you started in 2017, no? That's when you you had the re-energize, as you put it.
2018.
2018.
But
So,
actually,
2018.
2019 na naman na-merge kami ng mga
2019. So it's been 5 years.
5 years, yeah. So,
5 years.
2 years na wala because of the pandemic. So,
Yeah.
actually,
Since then, how much have you generated in terms of guarantees?
for MSME, it's about 7 billion.
7 billion.
For
billion.
housing,
2018.
about 170 billion. And then,
170 billion.
oh yeah, and then for including the Abot Kaya, that's about 200 billion plus.
So this is the biggest chunk.
It's the biggest chunk now because of the incentives. And for agriculture, we have about 40,000 borrowers, about 4 to 5 billion of guarantees.
Oh.
Yes. Yeah.
And again, you were saying that the banks, if they lend out money for loans for housing, the loans are interest free.
Tax-free.
Tax free. So they
tax
charge say 8.5%. That's tax free. They don't pay the gross receipt tax and income tax. And
What about the
then,
interest? Interest in loans.
yeah, the interest, the tax on the interest.
Okay. Yeah.
But and also, if you are a bank, the portion guaranteed by us is zero risk weight because that's sovereign guarantee. So that means they don't have to provide capital for that lending. For every million of peso of lends, it's not required to have a capital counterpart because it's zero risk weight. Parang risk-free loan because of our guarantee.
Therefore, the housing is the biggest.
Yeah, that's really the big market.
It's a big
housing.
need.
But we're increasing MSME and small farmers lending.
For MSMEs, what kind of activity do you?
Celso.
Yeah. Oh,
Is it
actually,
sari-sari store?
yeah,
Is it
that's one.
what?
Groceries.
Is it fashion retail?
Mostly trading,
Mostly
Groceries,
trading.
manufacturing,
Manufacturing.
Their manufacturing and also yung mga
Canning.
karinderya,
Stallholders and,
stallholders, the sari-sari
eateries,
store,
Sorry,
the restaurants, small
When you say
restaurants,
restaurants also.
hardware
Yeah.
stores, marami.
hardware stores,
Hardware stores,
for
yeah.
construction.
Construction supports our housing.
Yeah. That's good to know that PhilGuarantee is doing. I mean,
Yeah, we're
that you
in the
guarantee-
background,
that
so
you guarantee-
we're not known to.
that you guarantee loans.
Yeah. So if a borrower
banks.
applies for a housing loan in a bank,
You may
most
not
likely
know.
it will be guaranteed by us.
by PhilGuarantee.
And then a microfinance bar goes to say BPI Banco, most
So
likely it will be
magandang
submitted.
message. That's the nice message to give out to
That's
people who don't really understand
Yeah,
these things.
so.
They should borrow They should not be afraid to borrow.
Yeah.
Or they should be borrow
Yes.
for more for
As long as
to
the
generate
project,
business.
the project's viable, yeah.
to-
That's
to
what we
generate
tell the
business.
borrowers. Yeah. We will support them if we believe in their project. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So, Mr. Pascual, can we have your parting words since we're ending the program?
Yeah. To our bank partners or partner lending institutions, we would like to thank them because they're at the forefront. They're the ones lending to MSME, housing, and agri. With our guarantee, they're encouraged to lend more or continue lending to this priority or sectors because our guarantee mitigates the risk in lending to these high-risk sectors.
Okay. Yeah. That's great. Okay.
So,
What else would you?
Oh, actually, sir, we provide opportunities to our entrepreneurs. They may not be able to access finance without our guarantee. We're in the background, and so we're trying to solve everything: unemployment, them being employed as entrepreneurs, and hopefully they will generate need for employment of people. They will add people. So it's a very it's fulfilling sometimes, but you're really at the background lang. We don't want them to know na government supported ka, baka ma-change yung payment behavior. That's the
what we
reason
try to
why
avoid also.
that's why we're trying to avoid also advertising that you're guaranteed. but
This is going to be known.
but
Some never
One
they know
presence.
this.
yeah, but once you're given an opportunity, I think you should not waste it. Kasi there are 110 million
The
eh.
banks should tell them if you don't pay up, we'll close your ano, di ba?
Sayang sir the
So,
opportunity.
Yes,
It's sustainability. If you pay up, sustains the program,
Continuous pa rin
you generate another opportunity for another person.
But the
Diba?
existence of PhilGuarantee really is an encouragement for people to go into to become
Business.
entrepreneurs. As you
Yes.
said.
Yes.
To get into business
And go into high-risk projects that
Yeah,
Level
those that
They have,
will increase
somebody
the
to-
economic pie. I think the general idea is increase the economic pie.
Are the banks lending to outfits that get into digitalization?
Yes, we support that. The creative industries,
Creative industries,
digitalizations, IT hubs. There are applications that we're now looking into.
Yeah, I think that they should be. That's another thing that should be
Yeah,
encouraged
that's, yes.
to get into business.
Ted, I'm afraid we're ending
Okay.
this program.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for joining us.
Yeah,
on
Thank you very much,
Thank you,
Denise.
guys.
insightful
Thank you.
episode of
Yeah,
Straight
thank you very
Talk.
much for inviting us.
And
We
also
hope you
for,
found today's discussion as enlightening as we did.
so,
I've-
we give a big. We're very grateful to Mr. Alberto Pascual, the President and CEO of the Philippine Guarantee Corporation, and Mr. Celso Gutierrez, SVP for the Priority Sector Guarantee Group of PhilGuarantee, for sharing their valuable insight and information with us. Thank you very much, gentlemen.
Thank you.
So,
Thank you.
if you have any questions or would like to continue
Yeah,
the conversation, you
You can
can
go
reach
to our website. Yeah.
your website
Yeah, well, so is it? Well,
and or our social media channels. Visit our website for more updates.
Okay.
So stay tuned for more thought-provoking content and interviews right here on Straight Talk.
Yeah, this is Teddy Montelibano.
And I'm Chito Lozada. So thank you very
morning.
much.
Thank you.
This public service announcement is brought to you by Meralco.
Magandang araw mga kaliwanag at gayon din sa ating mga katribu. Usapang kuryente rate naman ang liwanagin natin ngayon. Kamakailan, nag-anunsyo ang National Grid Corporation of the Philippines o NGCP na tumaas ang transmission rate na sinisingil nila sa lahat ng distribution utilities at electric co-ops ngayong buwan. Sa Meralco bill po na inyong natatanggap, makikita ninyo itong transmission rate na sa average ay mga 8% ng inyong binabayad kung kumukonsumo kayo ng 200 kilowatt hours kada buwan. Ito po ay pass-through charge. Meaning, ang binabayad sa Meralco ay binabayad din sa NGCP. 29 centavos per kilowatt hour ang tinaas ng transmission charge ngayong buwan na naging dahilan kaya natabunan ang pagbaba naman ng generation charge. Ayon sa NGCP, batay sa kanilang official statement, ang dahilan ng pagsipa ng transmission charge nila ay ang ancillary services o ang tinatawag na reserve na kuryente. Ngayong araw, ipapaliwanag ko sa inyo kung ano ba itong tinatawag na ancillary services. Ang ancillary services ang tumutulong sa transmission grid operator tulad ng NGCP para mapanatili na maaasahan ang supply ng kuryente na tumatakbo sa grid. Ito ang nagpapanatili na maayos ang daloy ng kuryente at balanse ang power generation at power demand. May iba't ibang uri ng ancillary services tulad ng regulating reserve. Ginagamit ito para mabilis na makasunod sa pagbago-bagong demand na pwedeng tumaas o bumaba sa loob lamang ng segundo o minuto. Ang contingency reserve naman ay ang mga nakabangkong supply ng kuryente sakali bumaba ang power production o may bumagsak o pumalyan na planta. Kapag nabawasan ang contingency reserve, nakaalalay naman ang tinatawag na dispatchable reserve. Ito ang backup para sa backup kumbaga. Sa tinatawag na reserve market, nagkakaroon ng real-time na bentahan ng reserves na requirement. Ang tanggapan ng NGCP ang bumibili sa reserve market na isinasama rin sa sinisingil nila sa ilalim ng transmission charge. Magamit man agad o hindi. Kamakailan ay pinayagan na muli ng Department of Energy ang pagbili ng mga reserba mula sa reserve market, kaya nagkaroon ng mataas na paggalaw sa overall transmission charge. Samantala, ang distribution o singil mismo ng Meralco sa mga consumer ay nanatiling hindi naman nagbago simula pa noong 2022. Bagkus, ito ay bumaba pa. Sana po, kahit paano, naliwanagan kayo sa digital explainer kung ito. Para sa mga katribo natin sa Daily Tribune, magandang araw po sa inyong lahat. Ako po ang inyong lingkod, Manong Joe, hanggang sa muli.